We're getting away from the manual way of doing business in the city of Cleveland. We're going to go to curbside recycling, which would actually be better for the city and also for the residents too. The less that we put into the landfill will be more of a financial savings for the city, and also that's less garbage that's going into the landfill. Recycling is easy as 1, 2, 3. You bag them, you put them into the blue container, you roll it to the curb, and the truck will do the rest. We're committed to making Cleveland a cleaner, greener city of choice.
They call it the Star-Spangled Battle. It's the North against the South. It's our neighbors from up north, and I'm talking Canadians, taking on Americans, as well as individuals from Michigan, New York, Illinois. It is the King of the Ring. Hello, everybody. I'm Ronnie Duncan, along with Wilkin Santiago, a very decorated amateur back in the day here in the Cleveland, Ohio area. And Wilkin, once again, we're putting on a spectacular show, but instead of the fireworks not only being outside, there are going to be some bombs thrown inside.
Oh, definitely, man. Ecstatic, man. The last one was definitely a nice one out there. You know, these boys out here, they put in the work, man. These guys, they show their talent out here, and I'm just honored to be a part of this whole thing going on for these guys.
These are the future stars of boxing right here in Northeast Ohio. But beyond that, because they're taking on international competition and getting so prepared for the big times. Let's face it, somebody here could easily be in the Olympics. I think we know a young man who came from this program who went there not too long ago.
Oh, definitely. You know, these guys out here, man, like I said, they got natural talent. These guys put in the work day in, day out in that gym, and that's all it takes to reach the big times, man. And we got quite a few guys out there that I'm going to allow Ronnie to go ahead and touch base on these guys, where he got a little more of their pedigree. And these guys, they're ready to go out there and show what they got.
Sounds good. Bombs of the future. They're coming to you. You talk about America's independence, we've got it for you. It is a Star-Spangled Battle, and it's next. And also, you're going to be hearing from the fighters themselves, because Alexis Haywood is going to be talking to fighters just before they come into the ring, and she'll get the inside scoop. We'll find out who the winner is and who the loser. I'm Ronnie Duncan, Wilton Santiago. We'll be right back with much more of King of the Ring on TV 20, because we are Cleveland.
Got a quarter?
I'm with Kuvadeep Mani. Kuvadeep, have you ever fought outside before?
Yeah, twice. I came ringside and last year.
What was it like? And did you think did you have a disadvantage with the air?
I don't think I have a disadvantage. It was okay. It was just like any other fight.
Okay, are you prepared to win this evening?
Yeah, obviously.
Okay, thank you so much. Back to you, Ronnie.
Well, it's nothing to this but to do this. And we've got, of course, the United States going up against Canada. Wilkin Santiago, we just heard, of course, from our fighters, and they are ready. We just heard from Wadi Manu, and he says he's ready for Mr. Mason. And we're going to find out. The Mason family, let's face it, they can fight.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, they come from, I don't know how many of them they are, but it seems like they keep fighting and fighting and fighting. And Abdurrahman is the one that's fighting right now. Now fighters are getting ready for this. How important is it as an amateur fighter, you're fighting at this level, this early in your amateur boxing career, but yet you have an international fight on your passport?
Oh, it's very important, man. Like I said, it opens the door for the next level. You know, you get to see different backgrounds, different fighting styles from all over. You know, you get the best of the best in one square circle, man. And, what more can you ask for, man? But prepare yourself for the big leagues.
Jay, what the big leagues are about to prepare for us, and it's the King of the Ring. It's outdoor fighting. It is the Star Spangled Banner. Let's go up to our ring announcer, Paul Schill.
Okay, boxing fans, this is part of our main event. The next 5 bouts are all championship bouts. Our very first one is called the Battle of the Border Championship. This is at 108 pounds. This bout is sponsored by Corporate Vision League. And now, boxing fans, introducing our first fighter fighting out of the red corner. Representing the Brentford Boxing Club all the way from Ontario, Canada, please welcome Coordinate Manu. And his opponent fights out of the blue corner. He represents the Kingdom Fitness Boxing Club from Cleveland, Ohio, Abdurrahman Mason.
So there you have it, Abdurrahman Mason taking on Manu. Manu says, I may not look like a fighter, but looks can be deceiving. We'll find out what we have here in the ring as they are going to go 3 3-minute rounds. This, of course, will be for the Battle of the Border Championship. And it is the North against the South, the United States against Canada, North versus South, the Star Spangled Battle. It is the King of the Ring Best in Boxing Series number 7. Ronnie Duncan along with the one and only Wilkins Santiago. And Wilkins, you know, both of these kids are coming out with fighting for glory, and that glory comes with nation.
You're going to see a lot of punches being thrown in this weight division. These boys, they don't waste no time. They come in here, put punches together in bunches. And,
you know, Kawadi Manu stays busy, and he has landed some pretty good punches. He does not look like the great-looking fighter when you consider, of course, how well-established Mason is. But he is, you know, meeting Mason with just about everything. He's able to get out of the way of punches, and he's not afraid to take punches as well.
Yeah, he's taking them and he's exchanging as well. Nice punches he's landed. Nice right hand. He has that right hand. He lands it all the time.
Mason with a lead right hand that time right down the middle. Seems to be slowing Manu down just a little bit. And he's starting to get a little sharper on his punches. Abdurrahman Mason. Nice right hand again. Once again, combination punching. Not just with the jab. There's the jab, but once again, there's the hook. Mason is mixing up his punches, and once again, it was another right hand down the middle as Manu ran right into it. Manu has not found an answer for that overhand right, and there it is at the end of round number 1. Your analysis of round number 1 between Manu and Mason.
The right hand by Mason is being effective. I think he's found his target at the right. I mean, he's putting his punches where he's supposed to at the right time, and everything's looking good for him in round 1. But this is boxing; you never know. Tables can turn at any time. And right now, I got Mason easily cruising with that first round.
Mason threw not only in combinations, but he found a home for that right hand. And we even saw it at the end of the round, how pronounced it was. Good first round for Mason.
Definitely, definitely.
America is celebrating its independence. All throughout this great nation was all about the fireworks. And of course, now we're talking the fireworks in the ring. You know, back in the day when boxing first started, they boxed outside. John L. Sullivan, bare knuckle fights. There was no arena. Everything was outside. So basically, we're going back to the basics.
Yeah, you're right.
Except for...
I was just looking at it way back. A lot of people don't know 100 rounds back in the day.
I wouldn't have lasted 3.
Right. Yeah, I did my research. I'm like, man, I thought they were BSing me, but I guess it's true. I guess until one guy just finally gives up.
Manu's trying to move his head a little bit more, but he's still getting caught with that overhand right. There it is again, one time by Mason. But Mason can't get too right-hand happy, because Manu can go back to his corner and find out the remedy to get away from that right hand and counter him with the left or right of his own.
He's trying to set his right hand up, too.
You notice the difference in Manu trying to not be a stationary, trying to move his body, trying to bend, trying to do a little shimmy in the ring, and he's having some success because as he's coming forward, he's not coming forward in a straight line.
Yeah, he keeps getting caught with that right hand, though. You got to be careful.
Quick, man, bring that jab and that right hand back.
Pretty evenly skilled match.
That's right hand, left hook behind that. Oh, another right hand. He's timing that right hand perfect. Oh, another right hand.
Another right hand followed by left hook. Left hook that just missed.
Manu needs to bring his hands up a little more. Boxing's all about offense and defense. He's got to carry those hands a little higher.
As the end of round number 2. Very talented fighter, and you know, and having an opportunity to talk to Manu prior to the fight, you could tell that he knew he wanted to win here. You know, it's just, I've been to the United States before, and a lot of these Canadian fighters have been across the border, have come into Detroit, some have come into Seattle, Washington, some have come into Buffalo, New York, and so they've had that experience of what it's like to fight in the United States, a place that they've always wanted to go to, and now they're going even deeper here in Cleveland, Ohio, and it's a different kind of fighting, and there's fighting that's outside. They've had a lot of experience of fighting outside as well, so they're more comfortable in this setting than some of the fighters that we're seeing here from the States who are taking advantage of these opportunities. Third and final round coming up, Ronnie Duncan along with Wilkins Santiago. It is our first of our 5 championship fights that we're going to give you tonight on King of the Ring Boxing, the Best of Boxing Series number 7. Tawadu Manu in the red. Abdul-Rahman Mason in the blue. What I don't like about what Manu is doing is that he's leaving his head straight up.
Straight up and hands all the way down.
Come on with the hook. Come on with the hook.
And to me, he looks to be a little overmatched.
Yeah, definitely. You can see that. You can see with the more experience with Mason.
Mason is calm, he's cool, he's collected. There's a left hook.
He's barely moving. He's standing right in front of him.
And he's not even throwing his punches with a lot of conviction, but yet he's landing it. Look at that jab, followed, of course, by the right hand. Right hand. Once again, trying to find a home.
Slipping good shots, too.
Left. Right hand lead, just missed him. Manu his hands are too low. And if Mason were just to bend down and throw a left hook, this fight could be over with.
He's tired, his mouth's wide open.
Manu is putting forth the effort, but his effort just wasn't good enough. I've got only one person winning this fight, and that is Abdul-Rahman Mason. Abdul-Rahman Mason just appeared to be the more experienced fighter.
Slick with it too. Nice head movement.
And I felt like he could have maybe turned it up even more, but he didn't. He stayed.
Calm.
And he said, you know what, I'm not trying to hurt this guy, but I want to get some work, and I think that's what he got tonight. Coming up next, we've got the Recreation Battleship Championship. That'll be Josh Pagan of the Gallo Recreation Gym in Lansing, Michigan, taking on Marcel Bonner Marcel Bonner is a fighter you're going to hear from in just a few minutes as we watch these two fighters go around and, of course, thank our judges for the job in which they did. We are so impressed by Mason and the job that he and his family continue to do when it comes to amateur boxing. And let's face it, the apple does not fall far from the tree. It's evident that they're getting good coaching, the Mason brothers, and when you're getting good coaching, when you have good sparring, when you listen in the corner, it shows in the ring, and that's what you get here with the Mason brothers.
Everything comes together.
Everything comes together, but credit goes to their dad who is training them, making sure that they're getting the right, not only attention, but the right style, and that's what it's all about. You know, if you're going to be a boxer and a boxer with style, you've got to be a boxer who can get things in, and that's exactly what the Mason brothers have done, and they have done it over and over again.
Please put your hands together. These two outstanding young athletes representing the United States and Canada. Boxing fans, after 3 action-packed rounds, your winner fights out of the blue corner, Abdul Mesa.
There you go. Abdul Rahman Mason is your winner of the competition. And once again, what I love about amateur boxing is that not long ago we saw both of these young men in the ring and they were throwing punches, but they found a way to make sure that they became friends afterwards. And that's the camaraderie that you always find in boxing. Sure, you beat me, but I have respect for you because not anybody can step in that ring. It takes a special man or a special young lady or woman to step in that ring. You can have all of your friends behind you, but nobody fights for you but yourself.
Exactly. Yes. The sportsmanship is unreal. You know, glad that some of these guys, you know, could look past all the emotional aspects of it and really come together and, you know, show the respect for each other that, you know, they pour their hearts out inside that ring.
Well, Alexis Haywood, of course, is our lady around the ring. She's been talking to our fighters before the fight. As a matter of fact, let's hear what she had in reference to Josh Pagan getting ready to take on Marcel Bonner. Alexis.
I'm here with Marcel Bonner. He has won the King of the Ring fight before. Can you do it again?
Yeah, I could do it again. It's all easy work.
Good. Who are your biggest inspirations?
God, that's my biggest inspiration.
That's a good one. Well, we'll see if he can do it again tonight. Back to you, Ronnie.
I tell you what, Alexis has been working. Alexis, we thank you for that. And now, of course, we see our two fighters in the ring, Marcel Bonner. And Marcel Bonner is getting ready for Josh Pagan. Josh Pagan comes to us not too far away, Ohio, Michigan. Try Lansing, Michigan, the capital. And I'm sure he's probably a Spartan fan, loving those Michigan State Spartans. Comes to us from the Gallo Recreation Center in Lansing. And of course, he's in the red corner wearing the all red. Young man with the white shirt on and the black trunks trimmed in gray is Marcel Bonner. He has been the recipient of the King of the Ring, and this will be for the Recreation Center Battle Championship at 132 pounds. And I'm going to tell you, when you talk about who could be a future star of boxing from this tournament, from this type of venue, and can ascend to greatness, I'm going to put my money on Marcel Bonner. Bonner is that kind of kid that he can get a lot of things done in a short period of time. Let's go up to our ring announcer, Paul Schill, as we can meet both fighters, and Mr. Pagan and Mr. Bonner.
Boxing fans, and continuing of our championship bouts, this is 3 3-minute rounds for the Recreation Center Battle of Champions at 132 pounds. This is sponsored by Warner Brothers and Dunkirk. And now, introducing first the red corner. Representing the Gallo Rec Center, please welcome from Ontario, Canada, Josh Pagan. And his opponent, representing the Glenville Rec Bob Davis Boxing Club, please welcome Marcel Bonner.
Right.
All right, we're getting ready for a good one. Marcel Bonner taking on Josh Pagan. Pagan out of Lansing, Michigan. Steps right into the action. He comes there to meet him. And he comes straight away. And an overhand right that time by Marcel Bonner. Bonner, a standoff fighter, knows how to lead with the jab. Conventional style. Putting that left hand out, going to the body. Bonner, I guess he wanted to see what Josh Pagan had. And there he is, to the body, upstairs to the head. Very composed fighter. I asked Bonner, I said, Marcel, how much longer do you want to stay in this game? How much longer would you love to be a professional? And how forward do you look to becoming a professional? I mean, how much longer do you want to be an amateur? And how much forward do you look to being a professional? He says he wants to try to make the next Olympic Games. And that says a lot. And so we're talking about a time frame of a little more than a year, maybe 2 years from now. And we could very well be seeing this young man on HBO, Showtime, ESPN. He is that kind of a skilled fighter. See that left hook that time? He threw it, and he knows how to throw in combinations. He knows, of course, how to keep his distance between his fighter. But you've got to give credit to Josh Pagan. Pagan with the double jab. Doesn't do any damage, but he gets inside.
Scoring points.
Josh Pagan in the red. In the white top is Marcel Bonner. Marcel Bonner needs to learn how to pull that trigger a little bit faster. He had an opening that time, but didn't take advantage of it. And that's what I'm talking about, Bonner. Being able to use the lateral movement, being able to be cute. And at the same time, that was effective when you don't throw a punch, but yet you're putting your opponent in a position where he can't even throw a punch. And that's what Bonner was able to do that one time.
Take advantage of those times. Those times don't come along too often, so when they're there, you got to take advantage.
And there's so many times as a fighter that you're in situations where you want to pull the trigger and you can't. Bonner had one, and he let it go away. I want to see what happens if he ever gets that situation again.
A good left hook right hand.
Get up first. There you go. Double him up. Go back at him.
Pagan staying in front, moving forward. Pagan trying to be the aggressor in round number one. Bonner being a counterpuncher. Look at Pagan. See, he's leading with those jabs.
Nice right hand.
Right hand to the body that time on Bonner.
Bonner looks too relaxed. He's got to let himself go a little more. Got to let those punches flow. He's telegraphing.
Oh, but that was a really telegraphed left hand jab that time by Bonner. Lifted the head of Pagan straight up. They're locked up in the action right now. Bonner trying to lead with that right hand. And there was that jab again, followed by the right hand by Bonner. Pretty even first round.
Yeah, definitely.
Bonner and Pagan. Bonner trying to get in a little bit of work before the end of the round. Overhand right that time, a little while. And Bonner goes to the body, and so does Pagan. Pretty even fight, tight round. Pretty even first round between these two. One thing you can tell, Josh Pagan did not come here just because he wanted a trip. Josh Pagan came here for a reason, and that was to get a victory. And it's evident by the way in which you saw him. I mean, you saw just a few seconds ago, he started to stand up. They took the stool down. He almost fell down. But standing up right now, not sitting in the stool, is Marcel Bonner.
Doing great. Showing these judges that he's ready. He's ready to come out here, put on the show. He wants the victory. Usually when you're standing up in between rounds, when you're not using that stool, you're showing these judges that you've been putting in the work. You don't need to sit it down. Just a psychological thing.
Well, both of these fighters came in at 132-pound weight class. Coming up, we'll have the North against the South Championship, but right now, this is the Recreation Battle Championship coming to you on TV 20. We are Cleveland, Ronnie Duncan, along with the very talented, multi-dimensional boxer, Ruben Santiago. See, I wanted to go ahead and play. Have some fun with you.
That's Wilkin Santiago.
Was Ruben somebody you fought, knocked out?
Let me check that water bottle you got over there.
Wilkin Santiago. I want to see if you were listening, man. Give me a break, okay? I was having some fun.
Get that water bottle inspected.
Yeah, right. Wilkin Santiago, Ronnie Duncan at ringside, having a good time. Once again, Star Spangled Battle. And Earl Jewell is telling both of these young men they got to stop holding so much and let's see some fighting.
Ooh, nice right hand.
Nice right hand. It's about being first.
Ooh, nice hook. Pagan's not holding back.
No, Pagan isn't holding back, and Pagan is coming here to fight. Pagan says, I'm no chump. You can look at me, and by appearance, I may not look like I'm the fighter. Get in the ring and let me show you what I can do.
This could be deceiving.
Marcel Bonner with a little shoe shine there.
Nice, turn the southpaw. You got to be careful. You got caught. Turn the southpaw with the right hand.
And there's that right hand again. Marcel Bonner Now, Bonner needs to be busy. When you're busy, you're first. When you're first, you can get things done.
Nice body shot.
Marcel Bonner can take advantage of things just by being a busier fighter and being stronger and punching when they're in close quarters like that. Bonner should take advantage of the situation. That's the one thing you see by Pagan. Pagan sees a close situation, he's going to throw a punch. Marcel Bonner trying to get, oh, nice left hook and a right hand to the body by Bonner on Pagan. But Pagan didn't take a backward step. He continues to move forward.
Be careful with those uppercuts, real low.
Earl Jewell telling both fighters to keep him up. And there's that right hand and that left hook that time by Marcel Bonner. Bonner with a straight left to the body. Followed by the right hand. Bonner, of course. Bonner says, I'm going to start this fight and I'll finish it.
This is it. He's got to step it up now. This is the time to step up. Shoelaces are loose. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we got a shoelace down there. Perhaps referee Earl Jewell can figure that one out and make sure we can take care of one of the fighters. Safety comes first anytime in amateur boxing. I'm glad referee Earl Jewell saw that, and that's why he's one of the best referees not only in Ohio but in the country, one of the finest amateurs.